guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here, 1971 bus. Yes, this is affectionately known as Moonbeam on the channel. This is a wrapping up special. Well, hopefully, we will go on a test drive at the end of this video. Special. To test the air conditioning and the power steering, also every other component that we screwed with on this car. Dual carbs, all that good stuff. Like I said in, I think the last video with the air conditioning, had it running for 45 minutes on idle, and it did not miss a beat, so that's great. But this, like I said, I got cleaning to do inside, tidying up, and finish putting together the engine bay because everything is where it's supposed to live now. Cables, so on and so forth, wires. I also got to pull this wheel and take a bolt off. I'll show you. I don't even know if the bolt's on this wheel. I can't see it. If I can get it from without taking off the wheel, I will. I'll explain later. Let me get this thing in the air, and I'll start the engine and slowly meander our way forward to get this thing done. All right. All right, come here. All right, guys, first thing being, first is I gotta answer a phone call. Focus. Oh, that's not good. Gonna cooperate? All right. Hey, first thing being first, I'm going to mount the power cable the way I want to mount it across, the backside. Like it was initially planned, or like I initially planned to do. But because I was a dumb and didn't have the hardware I needed, it obviously was not done that way. This is going to be simple. I actually made it to the store. Got the bracketry I need. I'm just going to place it on and screw it in. But yeah, this way it'll run across the backside and, out of the way. I'll show you after. Let me get this in real quick, and then I'll show you the aftermath of the installation. Because, again, we're working on the bus, and no one can see anything. All right, guys. Power wire from the compressor now runs across the back, so at least it's out of the way of everything. I guess I could put the splash shield in so that go up some. Whoa, whatever. Put the splash shield in down here so that that's done, and we can run our tubes. Also, tech tip. I don't think I showed this. Your blower vents. When I was running it, I just taped them because you want all that cooling to, do cooling things. You don't just want to blast it out into the ether. So I just taped it. I knew I was putting vents in, so didn't even worry about that. Brand new tray. We'll just snake in under all these wires. And like I said, this will give us our, let us be able to run heat. If this tin wants to cooperate. All right, short extension. Short extension, there we go. And make your life a little easier. Click, click. All right, I'll continue working this gasket. I'm also gonna, it's not really needed because it's working, but the coil, I'm gonna change it out just due to the fact that from running it, it was getting to me excessively hot to what I think it should have been. Now don't get me wrong, coils do get warm, but that was warm enough for me to question temperature. And no, it wasn't the valance heating up, because that's initially was my first thought. I was like, oh, it's just sitting there and the exhaust is there. No, valance was, I don't know, a not unnoticeably different temperature on the cooler side. There we go. Valance is down, on, installed. All right. So now I don't have to worry about it, you know, catching melting stuff. I'll put all this in, I'll put all the wires that go from the distributor. Just put them in a harness. Or, you know, a sleeve. Just to, you know, prettify it a bit. All right, I'm going to struggle putting this into the harness, or all these wires into the loom, and I'll get back to you. All right, guys, that's wrapped. You know, I don't have the light under here. I also don't know what I did with the light. Hold please, let me find that. There it is. All right, a little more light in here. Still not the greatest, but it is better. All right, oil pressure sender. It is leaking. Oh, it's not even tight. That's a good indicator that it's leaking. But we'll change it. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it was tightened, but we got a brand new one. When you pull your draw out further, yeah, I gotta clean that. You know, the money maker and all. When you pull your draw out further, you can actually find things. This guy installed. And that's probably why it was the way it was. That is extremely loose. Yeah, it's like someone ran it in or tapped it the wrong size. Yeah, I'm not a fan of how this is going. All right, now there it is. Yes, I was going to say I lost sealer. All right, so I got Teflon here and put more sealer on here. Not really recommended. But the thing is, if this block is on the verge of being stripped, this is highly recommended. Because this is a, I might have got too much. Teflon on here. Because this is a pipe seal or MPT thread. What is it? Eighth inch MPT. Don't hold me to that one. There we go. So it should get tighter, you know, the further you go down. You shouldn't be able to bottom it out. I do know some sensors now come with a copper washer. This one is not one of them. It's a little longer to grab threads. So I don't know what its deal is, but we're gonna throw it in. If it leaks, I'll put a copper washer on it and hopefully that also seals it. When in doubt, just keep adding more crap. There we go, we're starting to get a little tight. That's because we're bottomed out. Who is calling? Anyway. All right, that's snug. A little tighter than I want it to be, but it is what it is. I don't want to go too far and, well, end up stripping it because, well, that would also be bad. We're trying to keep out of the, all right, so that's in. Good. Oh, please, face wash. Also, spray weight is quite refreshing. Anywho's, that's in, that's good. Compressor, I have a plate I think I have to put on that still. Don't ask me where I put it. Is that it? All right, guys, new coil in box. One thing I do need to put on, is this electrical connector cover over the compressor. How necessary is it? I don't know. Are we going to put it on because it was supplied? Yep. How the hell does it go on? It goes like that. I'm going a long way about that. We can loosen things. There we go. All right, guys, let's get this coil going. Going to be super simple. Quick one for one. You know what? I'll be nice. I'll give a new bracket. Yeah, we'll put in a nice shiny new bracket. Mainly because I don't want to mess with that one. Just makes it look nicer, like I said. Like I care, because I do. Reason I like new coils is that the ends are smaller that accept these things versus the old style, which is fatter, and they don't have boots anymore. Or at least I don't buy the boots specifically, or pacifically, depending, for these things. You know what? Before I do that, let's do the right thing, so I don't have to take that off. Let me just paint this real quick. I'm just gonna, it's really the only thing I have to do under here. But let me paint this real quick so I'm done. And I don't have to like mask off or, you know, tape off a coil. Take off a coil that I just put on, because that would be dumb. Also most likely something I would do. All right, it's black, and because I'm antsy, it's drying. So let's work it wet. But I feel that looks a little bit better. It's nice satin. It's still drying. It's better than what it was. All peely. It's at least one color. So let's do the right thing and screw absolutely everything up that I just did. Slide that on. Ah, crap. I think we're going to have to slot these a little more. Apparently this bracket spacing is different than the old bracket. Yep, so we'll do the right thing and yeah. I got to do some notching. Cut, shaved. Attempt 337. Oh, when you do that, everything fits better. Where'd that bolt go? Weird. We know we're going to need the 8 for the new one. So the 9. What is it, American? What's American? 3/8? I think so. Tight. Right. That for the negative, because we only have one. Come here. Oh, my radio timed out again. Right. Negative. On. And positive. How did I do? Oh, that's that. Like, how did I get that all wrapped up? Stop. Plug you in. Think. Let me put a wrap of tape on that. I don't know what I do with the electrical. What the hell is going on today? There it is. There we go. All right, that's on. Perfect. Wired up. Clean, clean, clean enough. All right, now let's finally get these heat tubes on. This is going splendidly. Note to self, 2-inch clamp means 2-inch clamp. All right, that's on. Slide that down. Slide that up. Tighten, and we'll do it on the other side. Yeah, we have enough to connect. My whole thing was it didn't have had those heater boxes that these connect to. I didn't know if someone cut them and we would have a shorter run. That does not seem to be the case. Just get on there. Like I said, these are in good condition, so I'm not even going to bother replacing them. If they're cracked or torn, then that'd be one thing, but they're not. All right. Buttoned up. Let's go under. Let's go under. Let's button up under there. I forgot I had that flashlight on. That's how well it was going. I don't know where my plug is. Hose clamps. All right. Last things. Like I said, we're just doing the button up runs right now. You won't be able to see nothing. But what I got to do now, we got to connect the heater tubage to the other tubage. So that this can have heat. You know, if I like picked my crap off the floor, it'd be so much easier. That's good. Hose clamp now on it. Again, I just wanted to make sure I can make the run to where I was needing to go. And once this gets connected, we can go up top and finish it out. Make the hoses look prettier. All right, guys. Moving inside, we're gonna clean all this up. Is that my delivery finally? That would be awesome. That is. I'll be back. Anywho's and ways, I'm back. Like I said, I'm gonna do some cleaning in here. Yeah, I got my new heat or tubage, so I can get rid of those. For that box, vacuum, clean it up, so on and so forth, straighten it up. Basically, like I said, it's just putting the vents in, putting those tubes in. I might take the kick off and paint it, just to blend it in some, because I don't know, having a big aluminum thing there, not really, I don't know, just it annoys my eye personally. So hide it in plain sight. But yeah, let me fix this. Mainly, we'll start with, no, I'm not going to vacuum because I got to cut more holes. Let me do a thing and I'll report back. But yeah, like I said, we're pretty much in the button up phase. Front of the car, everything I have to do is clean up the tools, stuff like that. Everything's taken care of, buttoned up, clean. And then in the very, very front of the car, I got to put the splash pad in, but I'm going to do the right thing and put nut certs back into the car because it was basically just held on by self-tappers in new spots. Does it work? Yeah. Do I like it? No. Like I said, this is just odds and ends special. Then we got to, oh yeah, I'll bring it back and I'll show you how to fit the wheel. I did mountain balance the spare tire. So that's at least there. Don't worry about what's going on with the Ghia. But yeah, let me get this knocked out and I don't know, report back with something else. Like I said, I don't really have a plan with this episode. I'm just kind of killing time and showing that it's leaving complete, I guess. Makes sense. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, interior. We're done. Got some little odds and ends, some wrenches. Pick them up. Razor blades because I leave them everywhere. But done. Disappeared. Vents are in. I gotta do just a little bit of dusting. But the vents are in. You can shut them, you can rotate them, and then the, recirc side. So all that's nice and pretty. Like I said, I just got some little odds and ends to pick up in here, and we are done inside. with the exception of, well, no, I don't have an exception. Just gonna continue to throw stuff places because, you know, organization we'll get to when the next project rolls in. I gotta keep finding stuff. And if I put it away, that will be the last place I look for anything. Holding glove. But yeah, inside, like I said, inside's done. Last two things I need to do is, I said this already. Pull the wheels. I'll show you why. Actually, I'll just show you on this side. Because of the spare tire, this one wheel bolt, it just holds your drum on. It's not important. It just centers it. I honestly don't know why it's there, because the wheel will hold it. But just got to take this off, take it off on this side, take it off on the other side, and then this way at least the spare tire will fit. And then put the splash shield on and get this thing on the ground and take it out for a rip and see what this thing can actually do. Hopefully be mildly impressive. The only thing I was wishing, and this sounds kind of stupid on my end because it's me, I wish we were having our 90-degree days to really push that AC unit. But it's going to be, I think, like 70-something degrees tomorrow. It'll still give a baseline. It's still going to work. We know it works. I clean my face and that spot comes back. But yeah, we'll just put that there. Like I said, we're not going to really be pushing the AC, but I mean, it's going to, obviously, we're going to run it. We're going to see what it can do. It should be fine. Don't ask questions. But yeah, let me get, there, fixed. Let me get that, that wheel off, fix that wheel, and then I'll put the splash shield on, get it on the ground, and hopefully, unless a development happens, next scene we'll be on the road. We'll be driving around. At least that's the plan. I'll be back. Whew. All right, guys. It is, excuse me. All right, guys, it is the next day, and, well, let's take this thing out on the road. Blower's off, everything's off. We're good. E-brake off. All right, let's see what this thing can do. This is, mind you, the first time I've ever driven a car. I drove here, but other than doing the carb conversion, I don't know. We'll find out. Everything looks good. I went through the whole car. I don't know, brakes look good. Everything's hooked up. Let's see what this can do with some road mileage, I guess. Turn the key. Gen lights off. Oil pressure light came off. Gonna let this thing warm up some. Shouldn't need that much. I can't. Oh, I can see out the mirror. Steering wheel is still Wi-Fi, like my typical test drives. If I mess with anything, just due to the fact I gotta make sure that it's straight, and then obviously I'm gonna bolt everything together. Oh, I did wire horn in, so that is working. It's just a little button over here. Due to the fact that, like I said, when we put the EPS in, couldn't do anything with it. All right, phone, get out of my pocket. You can hang out there. All right, join me on the road. Ooh, fire extinguisher. I can live there. What does the clutch feel like? I did move. Ooh, so weird. The EPS is just wild. But, all right, join me on the road. Ooh, clutch is really good. Ooh, maybe I should open my door more. I forgot I'm in a bus. And a roof rack. I do not want to tempt fate if I think this is going to clear. That should be fine. Alrighty. Oof. Join me on the road. Is the heat on? I have some interesting smoke coming through the vents. Back to the shop. I think it smells like the heat's on. Well, I don't know, I had some weird puff of smoke. I'm gonna have to wait till it cools down. I think we have a what have you, a heater stuck on. Line the wheel real quick. But it's running all right. I gotta check timing. I got a little bit of a pop. Went away. I'm gonna double check timing. There is you can hear a little bit of a carb pip, pip, pip. Not really sure what that's about yet, but we'll double check it. This is why we do test drives. EPS is running great. Transmission shifts okay. Engine definitely picked up in idle. I don't know. Maybe it's just warming up. Should have cleaned the windshield. I don't know if you can tell. But it's sounding all right. Like I said, other than idling, this is the most mileage I've had on this. Yeah, something's definitely up with the vents. I don't know if you heard that. It just has a little bit of a poof. But she's driving fine. Just had that weird smell. I don't know what that was about. I will say the EPS isn't that bad. I've had it on this entire time. I just turned it off. It's on a toggle over here. Yeah, driving with it off, I don't know, I just feel, it feels better. That weird pop went away. We're not smoking up a storm. Throttle is a little sticky. Yeah, we definitely have a high idle now. All right. Plan is, let me get it back in the shop. Check idle, or check the idle and check the timing. Make sure I didn't screw up on that. There's that backfire. Turn that back on. Yeah, like I said, it's nice, it's working. Whoa. When it comes on, you definitely know it. Yeah, let me check this out. Like I said, it's idling way higher than I want it to. I don't know if it's picking up, but it is definitely higher than I want it to. Not a fan of that. So let's see what's going on with that. It sounds like it's hanging, or maybe, hell, something got out of sync and one carb's hanging. But it definitely has a backfire. It doesn't feel like it has as much power as I want it to. You can definitely feel the air conditioner. First time kicking this on. Whatever's going on, it's driver's side carburetor. That works pretty good. We'll test it more when we go back out. One reason I didn't have it running is because I'm hearing the carburetor, and I want to hear the engine over the blower motor. And it's not that loud, it's just one less noise I have to tune into. All right, guys, let me do a quick check on this thing and see where we're at, because like I said, I'm not 100% happy with it. Like I said, the throttle's sticking. I don't like that. I'm gonna shut that down. Yeah, the throttle's sticking. I don't like that. Just gonna have to go back on the rack. I gotta figure out what's going on with this heat control. It feels like it's on. Which is fine because we get air conditioning, but you don't want to use the air conditioning to compensate for a stuck-on heater. This vent feels like it's working. That one just doesn't move. This one's moving. Yeah. I don't know. All right, let me do some quick checks. If I find anything like super duper, I'll bring you in. But like I said, I just want to check the carb sync, and timing. See if that moved or anything like that. I honestly don't think I ever touched the timing on this engine. I think we just kind of threw it in there and assumed it was where it was. Oh, I'll be back. I still got to figure out what this noise was. It just came back again. Something has to be hitting the splash fan. It's not a safety issue, but I'm gonna shut that down. But yeah, I'm gonna let the engine cool, double check the valves. This is a crappy thing with building stuff. Well, you don't know what's gonna happen, so go through everything again. Let the engine cool, check the valves, make sure they're correct. I didn't check the sync on the carbs. There's no reason they should be wrong or off, but you know, that's something, but they should be fine. The hanging throttle, I got to put a spring in, a secondary spring. I think this cable, the cable's long cable, but what it's doing is I think it's just hanging on the up, so it's not a big deal. I'll just put a secondary spring in this thing and call it good. Yeah, little odds and ends. I just want to wrap up real quick, and we'll be back on the road. So next scene, we'll try this again. Also, let's tighten down the steering wheel. We at least accomplished getting a straight wheel. That's good. Needed more stuff to get done. All right, I'll be back. Dumb. All right, guys, don't do this, because I'm probably gonna have to go back and redo this, but there is the worm drive adjustment screw here. I don't know if you see, it's a jam nut with a slotted screw in it. Adjust it at your own willy-nilliness, because if you go too much, you're gonna screw it up. And if you go too little, or if you go too much, you're gonna lock up your steering. If you go too little, I recommend about, if anything, a quarter of a turn. But the pop's gone. For now. This box definitely is gonna need some loving, but hopefully for right now, that'll limp it along, or it'll be good forever. Like I said, check the fluid. Had oil in it, so on and so forth. So what guess all I'm going to do now is, well, take it back on the road. You'll join me inside and see what happens. Valves were still good, so didn't do anything there. Carb, like I said, driver side was pulling harder. Pretty sure that's where the pop was. Must have screwed it up whenever I was doing the tightening down the linkage. But they're back to where they were. I think I had them at 7 or 7 now anyway. What else? Put a spring or a helper spring in. I just got to check the heat, see if it's engaged or not, because on the dash that lever's doing, you know, F all. And what else? I guess just take it on the road. Yeah, plan. I'll be back. Hopefully you'll join me in the car unless I get developments. All right, real quick. I wasn't as crazy as, well, I thought I was. The heat was slightly stuck on. That cable is going to most likely be replaced, or need to be. So not going to be done this service. Went to a car show. Not going to be done this service. I'm going to do my typical well, they live distance away. Get about, 200 to 400 miles on the car. Bring it back. As long as it passes a freaking test drive, and bring it back, and we'll address any other complaints or concerns that they have. But the heat's off now. As long as they don't mess with the passenger side control, should be fine. Should be. But all right, let's I'm going to move everything again. Let's take her back out on the road and see if it's going to want to cooperate. Because other than that, once it started ingesting, you know, fuel and stuff like that, or, you know, fuel and air in the other carb, I also got to tighten that carb or that linkage. Once it started ingesting, it was fine. It was the problem of, well, you could hear it. I don't know if it came through in my mic, but you had a very, you know, you had the tuk, tuk, the cough. And, well, I make mistakes too, and apparently my sync was off. It was pulling not that much more, but, you know, when you get stuff tuned, you know, pretty dialed in, when something's off of your original tune, you're going to start experiencing issues. So, uno mas, let's try this again. Join me on the road. All right, guys. We're off the lift. Popping's still there, but not really. It's livable. Let's see what this thing can do. All right, guys. Safe to say, for right now, other than I think I have to raise the idle because it is quite low. The carb sync was the issue. Because I'm lugging it right now. Again, I don't like lugging engines, but it gives me a good idea of what they're doing. And it can pick up and pull and not bog out with it lugging. Before it was popping out that carb so much so that, well, I didn't want to, you know, risk it. Thing's quiet. Yeah, I might bump up the idle, give it a little bit, give her a little more. She sounds like she's on the 700-800 side. Bad. All right, we're at least doing things. All right, let's put a little bit of mileage on this car to make sure I know it's okay. Not much, but like I said, I want to get it up to operating temp. It's been idling, so it's already pretty much there. But I want to get more, I guess. Who's delivering? But anywho, it's running good. Like I said, that low idle is just something. All right, air conditioning. Let's run that through its paces. We have it. Let's use it. Oh, she'll pick up speed. Where are you going? Get back here. Now I don't know what you're aiming at. That's fine. We got air conditioning. It's blowing. I don't know how to prove that, but it's blowing. I don't see any smoke coming out the back. It's like 80 degrees right now. So this is what a modern car feels like. Weird. Oh, now you want to turn? But yeah, like I said, with the exception of, I don't even know what the hell I was going on about, being honest with you. I'm trying to listen to too many things. All right, let's give her some chooch. I mean, it's a bus. You can definitely tell there's a lag on that alternator, or some power draw. It's weird not having dash vents. Just for the fact that I'm getting cooked on this side, or warmed. But it's working well. Yeah, I think the car is just quiet. That's why I'm thinking the way I am. I might give it just a little more timing. It feels like it could use some. But it's not like loading up or anything like that. We'll do another lap. Second gear pulls all right. There was a cough. Turn that off. That could have been on me loading it up. We'll pull in here and make sure I'm not like on fire or smoking, because I can't see behind me. Tinted windows. No through traffic. That's fine. Do a double check. It's idling good. Sounding good. Alright. Let me just stay. Let me double check real quick. We have a severe oil leak. All right, we gotta go back to the shop. We have a severe oil leak. I don't. Lights aren't on or anything like that, so that's good. bring it on the big cam. I think we lost the oil cooler. That initial that initial, what I thought was the sensor, it's not the sensor. We're gonna probably have to pull this engine. Developments, as always, shoot. Not something I have the time or the planning for, room-wise on this one. This one's bad. Yeah, I'll bring it on the big cam, but we have a pretty significant oil leak. It's over everything, and I think it's going to be the oil cooler. The either the cooler itself, the adapter, because this is a doghouse engine. There's no real good way. I could try to get a bore scope in there and see if it's wet, but usually when the top of the engine's wet, it's problems. Either that or it's the fuel pump. All right. We're back. Let me get you on a big cam, but we have a severe oil leak. Other than that, it ran ran fine. We do want to bump the idle up a bit. But other than that, no complaints. But yeah, let me show you that oil leak, because it's bad. I think it's coming from the damn cooler. All right, guys, just got off the phone with the owner. I had to make that phone call saying you're not getting your car tomorrow because, well, unless it's something pretty obvious, I think this engine's coming out, but I don't know how well you can see. We're soaked. Oil there. Hi, hello. Oil on that side, oil all over the engine. The big thing is in the valley down there. Usually if you get oil down there, it's the oil cooler. I'm hoping it's not the oil cooler. The bad thing, I got my bore scope. I'm gonna get this thing in the air and see if I can snake it from the backside. Problem being, it's a bus, so access is limited. If it was, like a Beetle, Kia, you can get to it a lot easier. And like I said, the reason we changed the oil pressure sender is because I thought that was the reason for leaking. So I'm going to do, and the only thing I can think of that it developed now, because it idle for 30, 45 minutes doing the air conditioning. But it was at idle. It was probably idling at like 6 PSI. Not enough to really say do anything, I would say. Or make itself known. This bump, you hit the gas, you rev up, you're boosting the pressures. So let me get this car re-racked, see what I can see underneath. But yeah, I tried to probe every which way, and I can't see the cooler. I can't physically get my bore scope to bore scope in the angle and the angles and the dangles I need. But the good news is everything else works. There's that. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, clean off the entire top of the engine. I'm just gonna run her at a high idle and see if I can get anything to get wet again, because everything right now is dry. was a solid peg. I don't know where the hell it's coming from. We are dripping down here. All right. Because we're bone dry up here. And no, it's not the pulley. All right. Going up. All right, I'm gonna get some more brake clean. I'm gonna hose off the entire bottom of the engine and see what's actually leaking under here. Because if it's like a push rod tube or something like that, we're not gonna do a full engine reseal, but it's at least we'll know where the hell it's coming from, because that's more important than anything at this point. But yeah, it is soupy under there. Here, I'll just show you before I do anything. Like I said, you can see active leaks, pressure solenoid, so on and so forth. So she's sweaty. All them horse torques is coming out of it. But all right, let me get some brake clean, hose off that, and then we'll do it again. I want to see where this leak is coming from. Plus I want to blow some cool air on it and cool the engine down a little bit. Oil is still good. So it's not like, I don't know if it even focus. It's still at the line, still clear. Yeah, I don't know. We're still at the line. Smells like oil. It's not like I washed the cylinder with fuel or anything like that. All right, let's fire this up again and see if we can find a freaking bottom leak. I just don't know how the bottom would be wrapping around all the way to the top of the block. Because again, we are bone dry up here. Yeah, I don't know how the hell it'd be wrapping to the top. That's that right now is my dilemma. All right, let's see where it's leaking out of the bottom. All right, let me see if I can find out where this oil is coming from, or the main. wants a little more timing. That's not the oil issue. I'm so freaking confused. I don't have one new drip under here. What the hell changed? Top of the engine's dry. Bottom of the engine's dry. We didn't do anything. What the hell, over? All right, guys. I don't know. Top of the engine. Damn it. Still dry. Bottom of the engine. No new leaks. I have no idea. And it's been idling this whole damn time. We're gonna, well, do the right thing. Take it out on the road again. And if I come back with no oil leaks, it's fixed. I'm confused. I'll be back. Join me in the car. All right. Well, you saw on the camera, everything is freaking dry. Let's see what happens this go. We'll do about the same route. But I don't know what would be leaking. Join me on the road. Really watching that, gen light and oil pressure light just to make sure, but I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. We know we're driving on a hot engine, so that's good. So I don't have to drive it as far. Just gonna go to the parking lot I went to and we'll see if there's oil. Sorry, I'm a little quiet for this test drive. It's a little, puzzling. It's idling great. It's quiet. It's smooth. Just has a damn oil leak. Or not. Beep. That's why I wired a horn in. We'll run the AC. Maybe it's too much of a load on the engine with the belt. I don't know. I'm dogging it in third, or I'm running it out in third just to get everything moving. I feel better being Speed Racer and holding it in a gear while we have air moving. All right, parking lot we went to. Let's see. Because if we have an issue now, well, we're just going to immediately turn tail and be uh-oh'd. It's freaking dry right now. Underside is leaking some, but I mean, that's nothing I'm concerned about. It's the top side that I'm concerned about. The underside is better than what it was, but worse than when we left, obviously. It's like, why is there cool air? Let's try not to Baja this bug or bus like I did the other 71. Did I do that in the yeah, I did that in the 71. We'll go easy with this one. I don't know if I had belt slip or something just weird. There, I can compressor on again. That is full throttle. Compressor's on, engine's running fine. I don't see smoke and I don't smell smoke. All right. It's going to be a really bad diagnosis, but this engine is good. It's leaky and it's tired. This is a third gear pull. It's not coughing, it's not doing nothing, or, you know, anything out of the norm. But, yeah, really quiet test drive. Hearing noises, so and so forth. Pull this into the shop and we'll see what's going on with it, but I think I'm gonna end up saying it's good. First gear would help better. Avante! All right, guys, we are back and I can't drive. I can really hear that alternator. Air's still on. Is sounds like a supercharger when I installed it. All right, leave it running. Let me see if we got any oil coming out. All right, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the hell, what that oil slick was. It is bone dry. You know what? Let me grab you up. What did I hit? Oh, let me grab you and keep you running. Condenser fan still running. All right, let's see. How can I do things? All right, you off. You get off the window. All right. I'm gonna keep this in one shot so you know I'm not like, hopefully you guys know I don't BS you, but everything is dry under here. I don't know how well you can see, but the valley's dry, the block's dry. Each side, I don't think I cleaned all that up, but that's pretty much dry. That's still dry, no oil gathering. And then again, I don't even have a leak on the floor yet. Yes, the engine does have some, I don't know if you can see. You can see it's dripping some, but it's not like, you know, absolutely crazy. Yes, I have hair. Yes, my hat fell off. Deal with it, getting old. So, sorry if the wind noise, I'm right in front of the fan. So, it's good now? I can't do, okay, here's the problem. I can't do any more. I cannot, I did the same loop, this time with a hot engine. And nothing. So was there residual just somewhere and I just sucked at cleaning, and when it got hot it spewed and I was worrying about nothing? Well, not nothing. I mean, we had to sink the carb and stuff like that, but the oil leak, first time we didn't have an oil leak, second time we had an oil leak, now we don't have an oil leak. Do you know? Because I don't. I'm gonna say it's good. I got you guys to back me up. I'm gonna also tell the owners to monitor it, because here's the thing. I do not want to charge them to pull the engine to diagnose something that is or isn't a problem. I don't know if that makes any sense. In other words, if this thing isn't leaking oil, and it was poor housekeeping on my end, I'm not trying to charge them more money to fix something that wasn't a problem to begin with. But you guys saw the active leak under there before I cleaned it. Hell, you guys saw the engine when I put stuff together. It was dry, and then it wasn't. I don't know where the "and then it wasn't" came from or didn't come from, but as of right now it sounds great, it runs good. Still may bump up the idle just a little bit. It just, I don't know, it's so far back there, it's quiet. I know they were saying it was loud in there, but it's not. I think what's going to end up happening is the car's good. It's going to end up going back, and it's going to sound bad on my end. The engine's good, everything's working as it should. I think it's going to go back with the caveat that you may need an engine in the future. So run this one, run it like it's, you know, I don't know, just run it. I'm going to call the owner again, maybe give him good news and give him the caveat. Oh, this is what I was talking about, oil cooler. And I can't get back there. Usually it's the seal between here or the base seal, those guys that blow out. Typically when you get oil on top of the engine. But I have no oil on top of the engine. I have no oil even dripping out of the car. I'm going to tighten the belt because it feels loose. That's why I kept cycling the AC too. No, it's tight. It just felt weird. Yeah, I'm going to give it with the cab. Let me make a phone call, but I think what's going to happen is I'm going to basically say, hey, it's good, pick it up. It's not leaking oil. You're not going to blow it up on the way, back. But keep in mind, you may need an engine, if that makes any sense. Because if this is the original, and you've seen it, there's Bondo dust. I'm almost guaranteeing this is the original engine. We got 92,000 on the clock. I don't know if you can see in there. So if that is a 92,000 mile engine still, it's tired. It's ready for a rebuild anyway. Which, not the end of the world, but all right, let me make a phone call and I'll get back to you with what's going on. Because I think at this point, because I can't, just drove it again with the AC on, just trying to duplicate it. Couldn't duplicate it. I think what I'm going to end up doing is saying, hey, bring, I'll be back. I'll wrap this thing up on the big cam, or I'll just go on the big cam. I don't like the GoPro so much as far as it's weird for me. All right, be right back. All right, guys, real quick before I close this video out. What do I do with my flashlight? There it is, on the left. I still have zero ideas. Because now we let it cool off some. It's been, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes since the drive, and there is no new oil anywhere. And I wasn't not hard on it, driving it the second go. Maybe. Even that tray there, what had all the oil in it originally, it's a little sweaty, but it's not soaked. But the big thing to me is the top of the engine is dry. The oil pressure sender unit's dry. I did notice a little bit coming out of the gen stand or the alternator stand. Maybe some coming out of the pump, but that shouldn't translate into the amount of oil that was on this thing. But it is dry. Talk to the owner. Talk to the owner. He's coming to get the car. I'll get everything in the wrap up. Let me get you on your legs, and we'll wrap it up. But yeah, I'm confused. Give me a minute. Let me wrap this thing up. All right, guys, closing out this video on our 71 bus, affectionately known as Moonbeam. Yes, Moonbeam definitely has a personality. A good one. Either that or it's hangry. With that said, it's leaving. I did talk to the owners about our oil leak, our mystery, because it's not there anymore. So I don't know if there was maybe residual I missed and it came, but it was a lot. So it's fixed. Anyway, I disclosed that. They know that. They're going to monitor it, so on and so forth. Yes, there is oil in it. It didn't miraculously dump out in 30 seconds. But it is not leaking. It's not, it sweats. It's not like doing anything crazy, I guess is what I'm getting at. As far as test drive goes, we did 3 of them. First one, carb issue, completely my fault. I was out of sync on the driver's side carb, which I heard. Second one, we had our oil leak. Third one went flawlessly, other than me in my own head, brain. Air conditioning works. I wish I ran it longer, but I didn't, just due to the fact that, well, the demons in my own head were trying to listen to everything else, and I didn't want to hear the blower motor. Even though it's not loud, it's just another noise I don't want to process, if that makes any sense. Power steering, on the other hand, it was quiet. It was on about 90% of the drive. I turned it off once because I was like, we'll just turn it off. I'm a real strong boy. And I immediately switched the toggle and it came back on and stayed on the rest of the drive. So that works well. But with that said, brakes work. Everything is as good as it can be. I think I mentioned the box. The box is good now. But yeah, this video will probably come out Monday. Well, not probably. It is going to come out on a Monday. Following this video, so if this comes out on a Monday, Tuesday, because like I said, the owners are picking this up, I'll give an update. Hopefully it's going to be a good update and not that, hey, they left and it's coming back because it explodicated all over the place. I don't see that happening. I think I'm in my own head. I tend to be when I live with projects this long, and I do take what I do very seriously. I know I do fun and games, but I like people to get the best product they possibly can. So they are going to pick it up. They'll give me an update when they make it back, and I'll give you guys an update on if I was just in my head or if something else developed and it came back. But with that said, you're going to have to wait for the update to find out what happens, because Moonbeam is going back. It will be back on the channel regardless. Everybody gets, like I said, a free 200 to 400 mile inspection is basically what I say. Just bring it back. It's free. I just want to go through it, make sure everything I did is still holding together and nothing no developments happen. Also gives you time to drive the car, and if you want anything else done, it's a counterproductive, or no, it's a sleight of hand kind of thing. You get another spot, you come back in, you just want the oil change and make sure everything's, get the, it's good to go. Good. If you decide you want something else done, well, I'm here for you. You're scheduled, you have a scheduled appointment, I guess is what I'm getting at. But with that said, capping off this episode, if you like this episode, however it came out, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you do, I promise you we will chit chat. As always, thanks for watching. Hopefully, see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Got to move on to something else.